Now, we've got some rather exciting news here about Mr. Notch of Minecraft fame. It would seem that Notch is back in the game.
Well, yes, it seems that £2 billion was not enough to keep him down.
No. No, indeed.
So he thought, well, okay, I've had enough of this now. I've done all we can do, and now it's back to the old, the workbench again.
Back to the old grindstone. So Mr. Notch, he recently tweeted, you see, you were saying, where did we get all this from? We got it from Twitter, of course, which is where he likes to talk to his followers on there. He said, some of you might have figured out I have an office I go to where I try to make a game now. Oh yes, this is very real, fellows. He said, no promises, I know myself almost as well as you know me, but it's feeling real positive. Then he went on to say, the current plan is to maybe whip together a dungeon crawler to get us started. We'll see.
Well, that's very exciting. So it's bent his kick to the curb.
Yes.
And off we go back to the keyboard, tappy, tappy, tap.
Indeed.
And of course, see, the thing is, no doubt Mr. Notch has this in his sort of, in his DNA, that he's coding and making games, of course.
Yes.
Because that's what he did with Minecraft. And of course, the very interesting thing is he then, he didn't email, but he actually tweeted, whatever you call it nowadays, and said to Microsoft about OX10C. Now, what was that all about?
He absolutely did. Now, of course, just to be clear here, he did this tweet to Microsoft just a day before he announced his return to the office to be banging out lines of code, etc. on the old keyboard. He said, hey, at Microsoft, do you remember if I can use the name OX10C or if it ended up with you? There's a name we haven't heard for a very long time, Bertie.
No, indeed. So that was 2011-12 he was working on that.
Back in 12, we're going over 10 years ago now.
Like a little space game.
Yes.
And they sort of never took off.
Yes,
No, never took off.
Excellent.
So, but really, it never took off, and it was sort of shelved, as it were.
Yes.
Or and so, but now he's talking about this again. There was quite a lot of interest in it at the time.
There was.
But whether this means he's going to have another go at that, or whether it's just a way of just getting some interest basically from people for his new game, whatever he's planning. We don't know.
He could be gauging interest with that tweet. It's very true.
Yes.
He said at the moment he's working on some kind of dungeon crawler. He always liked his dungeon crawlers. I mean, Minecraft, itself sort of took inspiration from dungeon crawlers with all the various dungeons you go into in the game.
Yes.
But he has nonetheless said, OX10C, do I have that or don't I? Now, if Microsoft come back and say, well, yes, you do have the rights to that name, perhaps they'll do that through the back door, not publicly on Twitter, perhaps through the back channels, they might say, yes, you do, then he could well find himself working on a project that we thought has been shelved or abandoned for over a decade.
Well, yes, but I think if the Mojang of the time had been sensible, they would have, just given Microsoft in the law document Minecraft, not everything else.
Well, I think,
smart.
You see, he did tweet, and he said it started out as a Mojang project. At no point was it my own personal one, so it seems he may have been doing this game on company time.
Well, who knows? I don't know this, but one thing you can be sure of, that is that he's not doing this because he needs a few bucks.
No.
That's for sure.
No.
He's not bothered about that. So it must be just out of his heart, interest, and joy of coding and making games.
It's just a labour of love, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
he's not in it for the money, and you know what? That's one of the best reasons to code. He's not doing it for the cash, he's just doing it because he loves it. He wants to make a great game that us, the gamers, are going to enjoy.
Yes, but the thing is, though, can Notch pull another Minecraft out the bag?
I mean,
with all the press around the things that are, is it possible nowadays to do that?
I'd love to see it happen. I'd love to see OX10C become the next Minecraft or even something else he makes. That'd be wonderful. Certainly he's in a good position to do that because unlike many indie devs out there, he of course has already got a lot of fame and clout, and that really does help to drive interest to a game. So who knows, fellas, we'll certainly see. But rather interesting news that Mr. Notch is back on the scene. What do you make of it? Let us know in the comments, I say.
Well, certainly, yes indeed. OX10C could be an interesting game at the time. A lot of people liked it. Or is it something completely different?
A dungeon crawler. Who knows?
Yes.
Who knows? This has been GameChap and Bertie. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you once more in the next exciting outing, I say. Until then.
Bye-bye.